Hello everyone, and it's a beautiful afternoon in Seattle, and I am so grateful. And today, I wanted to talk a little bit about relationship and about the seasons of relationships, and the different experiences that we go through relationships, and we have so many different kinds of relationships, and we have relationships with our friends and with our loved ones, our close loved ones. We have relationships with our partners and lovers, and we have relationships with our colleagues, and we have all these different relationships. We also have a relationship to our community, and so I just wanted to be, attending to or noticing. And I thank my partner for suggesting this. I was like, honey, what do you think I should do? And she said, well, I think you might want to talk about the seasons of relationship. And I was like, awesome, let's do that. And so in talking about the seasons of relationships, the first thing that we do, and the first thing that I always do, is always ask for help with things, because I know that I'm not the help. I mean, I like to think I'm the help, but I know that I'm not the help. So I always ask for help from a greater power than myself, or the great mystery or creator. And so one of the things that we know also is that we want to have that closeness with the divine, because really, I love what Marianne Williamson says. She says, when we enter into relationship, we're yearning for a return to paradise. And that's really what we want, is that return to paradise. And we have the opportunity to find that paradise within ourselves first. And then, if we can find it within ourselves first, then we can offer it. And so great mystery, creator, Buddha, the great and beautiful creator of us all, I thank you for our relationships. And I'm asking that you bless them. And I'm asking that we can have some skill or have some abilities to really deepen in our intimacy, and to cherish one another, and to maintain our sense of humor with one another. And we're asking for your guidance, and we're asking that you will assist us so that we can be the people, the lovers, the partners that you would have us be, but also that you would help us to be the friends and the colleagues and the family members that you would have us be, that we can extend a deep kindness to one another, and that we can show how much we care for and cherish one another in all the ways that you would have us do so. Great Spirit, I'm so grateful for you and for our lives, and please join us in this in all our conversations, but especially our relationship conversations. And then on that note, I have a prayer here from Marianne Williamson, from the Illuminata, which she wrote. And I just love this. And it's one of the prayers that I hand out to my students in the relationship workshop that we do. But it says, Creator, bring us. And so I worked with it. I made a few shifts and changes, but the core of it is really, it's adapted from Marianne Williamson's Illuminata, from the book Illuminata. But it says, Creator, bring us big life and big love, deep life and deep love. We wish to show up now with pure and noble hearts, that we might midwife the perfection in each other. May we see each other's greatness and invoke each other's light. We surrender all the ways, both those we are aware of and those that remain unconscious, in which we do not invite our love for one another. We surrender our defenses. We are ready to bring forth the holiest vibrations of love and healing between us. Where we are afraid to love, where we have built walls in front of our hearts, may we be healed and set free. Where we are needy or do not know how to behave, or tend to control or judge or to fix, or to be dishonest, please, Creator, show us another way. We surrender ourselves to love. We surrender our love to you, and may it serve your purposes. May it receive your blessing and carry your power. May we always be true to each other. Thank you very much. Ahom Atakuyasan, or Amen, or thank you very much, or Amen, or however you like to end or exclaim. It's up to you. It's up to you, higher power. I give it to you. I offer it to you. Yay. And so I was thinking about the seasons. And I think one of my favorite lines of all time is to midwife the perfection in one another. I think we're really good at not doing that. I think we're better at not doing that than we are doing it. And so I wonder how we might find ways to midwife the perfection in one another. And then I would ask myself some questions. I would ask, what is it that I put in the way of my loving? What is it that I put in the way of my ability to give and to receive love? What are the reasons that I don't allow it? When I don't allow it? And how can I go to places where there is love and where there's the giving and the receiving of it? In the recovery movement, there's a saying, it says, you don't go to the hardware store for bread, or you don't go to the bakery for fruit, unless it's baked into something, so you want to go to places where where that fruit is there, where you've had a previous experience where that's there. And so just to really bring yourself to the place where, these are seasons where I can cultivate. And so you look at seasons and you look at, what are the seasons of the spring. And that's always the beginning of a relationship. And for some of it's a really long time ago. And for some of us, it's not a very long time ago. But what we know that spring is the beginning. And that is the place where something new is emerging. We're discovering something about ourselves. It's the morning time, the east, the sun comes up and everything is radiant. And we have returned to paradise. We're in a process of the experience called Limris. So that's really interesting, and it's a wonderful spot to be in, because everything's blooming and opening, and it's so good. So there's that. That's the first thing. That's the first season, and then we go into the summer where we start to cultivate things, and and we look at, well, what kind of support does this person need for their life dream and for their gifts and their talents, and we look at, what kind of support would I like, and how can the me, the you, and the us experience the support and the cultivation of the relationship, the life dreams and goals, the ability to really create and make something together that will really nourish and nurture you. So you're just planting, in the spring, you're planting the seeds in your garden, you're getting your, the cultivation, the soil is, ready, you plant your seeds, and then the summer is really about cultivating those seeds. Then you go into the fall, and the fall it comes after the summer, and that's because you've watered, you've tended it, you paid attention to the me, the you, the us. Rupi Kaur says something really, really powerful in her book, of Milk and Honey, and that's really powerful. It says, you must want to spend the rest of your life with yourself first. And I think that's so true, because if I don't want to spend the rest of my life with me, who else would want to, So you want to find, what are the things that I really enjoy about myself? What are the things that I love, the people and the things and the places and the communities that I love, and, and showing them love, It reminds me also of something that Sharon Reed said, it's not important that our children kiss us back. It's important that we kiss our children. So, sometimes when you kiss, your child on the cheek or on the forehead, they don't kiss you back, and especially at certain stages. And, that is okay as long as you are giving them love and sharing that with them, because their job is to test and to see if, you're still going to be there no matter what, and different, different stages. But that love is just such a powerful and strong, and the love between a parent and a child is, yes, the longing between a son and a father, or a son and the mother and the son, and the daughter and the mother is so powerful. There's such a yearning for that love, and for that love to be fulfilled. And then there's differentiation, which is a whole other scene. So it's really powerful. But during that summer, we're cultivating all of those relationships, and we're attending to things, and we're doing our very best to love ourselves well, to really love the children that are around us and the children in our lives really well, the gifts that we've been given. I always like to say all children are our children. So all children are my children, and all children are your children. Like, they're all, we're responsible for every child on the planet. There's no child on this planet that would not benefit from our gift of love and respect and acceptance. So we get to do that, and we get to befriend. I have some children and some young people. Yeah, I have some friends who are like 10, and I have some friends who are 15, and I have some friends who are 20, and I have some friends who are, so and I have some friends who are 75. So you want to have like that full range. We really need to be supporting each other, our love natures, now and in the future. So then we go to the winter, and the winter is about going inside, and so all relationships go through that. And I think that's also the time of the adolescent, where the adolescent is going into the winter, and it's like going inside. I have to go inside and find out who I am, and who am I, and discover that, and find out what I like and what I don't like. But all relationships go through that. Not only the relationships with the parent, but also our relationship with our partner, also our relationship to our work, also our relationship to our community, our relationship to our families. So they all go through these different phases and these different things. And so with the winter, when a relationship is going into the winter, it's really that time to go inside, and it's time to, generate internally what is most needed for the coming time, so there can be spring again, right? And so it's usually a time of deepening, a time of introspection, a time of thoughtfulness. And the sap goes all the way down so that it can rise again. And so that energy is all going into, reflection. And that is the natural cycle of things. We don't get to have springtime or summer all the time, or fall all the time. Fall has been my favorite season for a very long time. So I'm like, oh, I wish fall would just last forever, with the colors and just the temperature of the air. And, I really love the fall, but, I really, fall all year round wouldn't be that great. I also want to have the spring and the winter. And so I wanted to close with this really beautiful, it's a Celtic vow. It's a Celtic wedding vow. And I really love it. And I see it as, I see that we have the opportunity to make vows to one and whoever we love. And so this is really a powerful vow from an ancient text in the Celtic traditions. But it says, I honor your gods. I honor your gods. I drink at your well. I drink at your well. I bring an undefended heart to our meeting place. I bring an undefended heart to our meeting place. I will not negotiate by withholding. I will not negotiate by withholding. I am not subject to disappointment. I am not subject to disappointment. And so may this be so for you. May this be so for me. May this be so for everyone. And may we restore and preserve our love natures and our connections with one another. May we make contact with one another and talk with one another and stay in conversations that create relationships that we want to be in. Thank you so much.